10-minute daily reality check, Thursday, August 3rd, whipping through it right now. Football season tonight. Cardinals and Cowboys, man. Eddie and I are excited. We get to actually see real football instead of talking. Did Ezekiel Elliott actually fondle that girl? Wow, that's a great fucking storyline. But the NFL gets really boring during the offseason. But yet there's always a few good stories. Somebody's going to prison. Somebody did something stupid. But my favorite part of the football season are the commercials. Because America, the addicted, gets to really be manipulated between plays. That's right. You can sit in a bathtub, separate bathtubs, and have sex with a woman. That boner lasts for 36 hours. The side effects are demon eyes, massive amounts of diarrhea, skin rash, and pattern baldness. But that's okay. You'll still have an erection and be able to sit in a bathtub next to a woman. There's other things that doctors will give you too. That's right. Hell, no matter what doctor there is out there, there's a doctor that's going to give you some type of prescription drug. Why? Because they want to win the trip to Hawaii. That's right. They want to go to Hawaii with their wife, and they get 2 rooms, one for their kid and one for their wife. But the really slick doctor has a room for his wife and a room for his mistress. And that's all paid for because he is actually a drug dealer. No matter what doctor you have, they will push those drugs on you because they get something called samples that they get to give out. It's no different than the marijuana guy that basically gives you a little hit of a joint every time he sees you to addict you that way. But the great thing about doctors are they're all levels of them. There's even the crooked ones that will actually get you addicted to opiates because they know, plain and simple, that the opiate companies are really pushing it. Yeah, you take a look at the Oxycodone and Oxycontin companies, and you don't think they make a fucking fortune of that. So Eddie, now that the football season's upon us and crooked doctors are going to be running rampant, what was your favorite commercial ever that you ever watched that you said to yourself, holy shit, America is a fucking drug-addicted country?
The restless leg syndrome commercial.
I never saw that one. Shaky leg syndrome?
Oh, the restless leg syndrome. If you suffer from restless legs throughout the night, take this pill. Now, the side effects may be, bleeding and nosebleeds, diarrhea, constipation, could cause cancer and make you even want to have suicidal thoughts and tendencies, but you won't have restless legs. Literally, look up the restless leg side effects for those medications. You will literally be like, I think I'll stick with the restless legs and not bleed profusely out my nose for no apparent reason throughout the day. It's just random stuff that happens. And like he said, nowadays, if you got an itch, there's a pill for you to scratch it with. So you just pick it. You walk right in your doctor's office and they're going to set you up. And ask yourself, is he really here to help me if every time I say this and this, he thinks, oh, well, you can have this or that. Go for it. Or if every time I say I need this or that, well, whatever you think's best, I'll give you. I've got a client of mine, his Dr. Lilly gave him Percocet and said, I know, I've got you on Percocet taking them 4 times a day. I'm the one who prescribed it to you. He's like, well, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to. Give me something else or I'm going to take less of these drugs. I don't want to be addicted to this. And so you kind of have to put your foot down at some point and not let your drug dealer run all over you, because as long as you've got the copay, he's going to be okay.
Yeah, it's so true. The copay, you're going to be okay. The drug dealer in the white coat. It's amazing, and people don't realize and think about that, because Western medical doctors will get you addicted to drugs because the more prescriptions they write, the more they sell, the more money they're going to make.
I train doctors. I have a doctor I'm working with right now, and he literally was having a little get-together with some friends over the weekend, and the doctor I work with, I train. He was like, insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies will take you out. They'll give you vacations, all type of bonuses to push their product. The more product you push of theirs, the more these golf vacations and Hawaii getaways and bonuses and car leases. Anything they can do anything under the sun, because you know why? They've got the politicians in their pocket when they write those big donation checks for their campaign. So now you're going to pass my legislation to let me sell drugs to the people. Let's be honest, people, and I am a health and fitness specialist who is a college-educated man in the field. I'm taking classes in biochemistry, anatomy, physics, you name it. There are also Eastern medicine alternatives to a lot of these problems. And let me show you how this works, just a quick rundown. Dave has a lot of internal issues with his stomach and some other things. He solved most of his issues using natural ingredients. Now, sometimes Dave will have an ache or pain. I look at Dave and say, Dave, go take a fucking Aleve, and you'll be fine. And he goes, yeah, well, and then he'll go take a leave, and guess what? He's fine. Everything can't be fixed with Western medicine, and everything can't be fixed with Eastern medicine. But if you put them together, you'll probably be okay and live a long time. Because everything in moderation is okay. I'm sure your grandmothers and grandparents back in the day used to tell you that, oh, you'll be all right, everything in moderation. You got sick back in the day. Some people I know live in the South will tell you, oh, your grandmother give you a shot of dark liquor, and you know you're underage, it's because you want to break all that up. You couldn't do that. You can't do that so much now, or you can't even get NyQuil in the store unless you're 21 because of that reason. But it worked. A little bit, everything in moderation.
It's interesting because people trust their doctors.
Yeah.
The fact
of course, they went to medical school.
Right, doctors are making less money than they ever made before because insurance companies are cutting into their profits. So they needed to find a new profit source. The profit source was writing prescriptions and getting paid by the drug companies. It's a business.
Yeah.
So the fact is you have a legal drug dealer that you go to and you spend 5 or 6 minutes. The drug dealer will look and say, just like I says, well, you got restless leg syndrome. Okay, meanwhile, the person's 250 pounds and they should weigh 170,
yeah,
right? So the fact of the matter is that their muscles and nerves are just all compressed and not firing, but they have restless leg syndrome, so they give them this pill, and every pill, the side effects are so true. You're gonna have demon eyes, okay? You're gonna fucking have suicidal, I love those ones. They slip it in there in the commercial, like you said. You'll have suicidal thoughts, but great, you'll be able to have a boner, but yet you want to kill yourself after you're having sex. And the thing is, we have become an addicted society because instead of looking, and this is what Americans do, they over-medicate. And I'm not just talking about Americans, I'm talking about people in the world. They over-medicate. But
it tends to be American.
But it tends to be American. They over-medicate instead of looking at the source. And the other day I was up at Big Bear, and I saw this woman, depressed as can be, you can just see it, carrying around her oxygen tank, way the fuck overweight. She probably had blood pressure issues, cholesterol issues, she had diabetes issues, right? And the fact of the matter is, the doctor probably prescribed her some type of drug, some type of antidepressant, right? So she can just go out and function and get to Walmart so she can buy her pork rinds.
And then gave her some type of medicine for her cholesterol and blood, instead of saying, hey, listen here, I'm going to write you a prescription so that your insurance company will allow you to have a personal trainer at an affordable rate so that you can get the weight off you and feel better. Because doctors can do that. Oh yes, they can actually prescribe personal training, and if they do, the insurance companies have to help pay for that process. But they don't because there's no money in that for them. And let's explain something about doctors. They are very educated and most are very qualified. But understand, when you go into the doctor's office, read the sign on the door. It's a practice. They are practicing medicine. They're not necessarily know exactly what they're doing. They're basing what you say off their knowledge to give you what they think you need to fix it. That's why there's always adjustments and, we'll put you on this instead of that. They are practicing medicine. So use your good judgment when you go into a doctor's office, and don't just take, he's a doctor, he knows best. He does know, but you also know yourself. You've been living in your skin a long time. And I work with doctors and trained doctors, online, worldwide, in person, and online. And I work with nurses and massage therapists and physical therapists, and I work with all types of clients. And the funny thing is, when it comes to dieting, most doctors, I have to tell them, no, you can't have coffee, mate. No, you can't have this. No, you can't. And you would think, they're a doctor, they should know that. Some people, that doesn't necessarily make sure it's true. You still have to, there's a give and take here. I'm an expert in my field. They're an expert in getting to the problems molecularly and physically with you and to counteract that. But also remember, you should work together to find a solution. It shouldn't just be, hey, take 2 of these and call me in the morning. That worked back in the days of, penicillin will probably kill it. It's not as complicated now, or it's less complicated now. We make it overcomplicated, hence restless leg syndrome.
Well, no, because there's a drug and a specialty for every little thing. You got winky eye syndrome.
Yeah.
Well, that means you're on Match.com too much. You might have to get off of it, right? Everything has it. I mean, kids, 25-year-old kids are popping erection pills. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I'm 55 and I don't have any problems with an erection. Yeah. And at 25, I certainly didn't have any problems with an erection.
And I understand that you're saying some guys, the only time I could see somebody having a problem with an erection at 25 is unless they have PTSD and they're coming back from the war. And that's different. Not to mention the fact that our government spends $46 million a year on Viagra, just so you know where your tax dollars are going. You can look that up, that's a fact.
Oh, it's all fact. And there's also, doctors are also hypocrites. One of my exes has a friend, I won't mention her by name at all, but she got herpes, and you know what she does? She sleeps with people unprotected and doesn't tell them she has herpes. She's a fucking doctor. Yeah. She's a doctor. Yeah. And she basically spreads her legs and just basically says, come on in. I'm going to fucking give you some fucking wonderful little bumps by having sex with me. Now, we all both know that if she isn't breaking out, she's not going to transfer her little herpes to anybody else, but she'll have sex during an outbreak.
Yeah,
That's a doctor.
Yeah.
So, be careful.
And that goes also to the podcast of Please Be Kind, Rewind. So you can link that in. Think about the grand scheme of other people. And hey, the karma of that one is she might be giving people herpes. Maybe someday somebody's going to give her something too. But these doctors, like you said, you've got to look and think for yourself. No matter who you're working with, work with them, don't work for them. Your doctor works with you to find a solution. They should be working, well, I really don't like taking this many pills. I'd rather not. There should be a solution that fits your life and helps you, because at the end of the day, it's about you and getting you better, not about lining your pockets. I know the doctor out in Malibu told one of my clients' wife she had Achilles tendonitis. They kept giving her cortisone shots. I said, listen, I train professional athletes. Unless you're playing in the Super Bowl with a broke foot, like I know some guys I work with who I train actually have, then you don't need a fucking cortisone shot every couple of weeks. What you need is some physical therapy and an anti-inflammatory. And then she went and got a second opinion. And guess what the doctor told her? You need some physical therapy and an anti-inflammatory. And that's what she went and did. It's not hard. It's just you have to not allow people to just go, oh, well, they're the expert. The expert could also be lining their pockets. Dave's here because he is an expert. And instead of just doing what he can do to line his pockets, he's actually trying to help people. And people don't realize that could even entail making less money in a month, but to the greater good, helping people get better, having a smile on their face and achieving something in life. And then that's the end result that's really going to help you in the long run. Because there's no better feeling, no matter how big your bank account is, and Dave can attest to this like I can, when you get an email saying, hey, or a text, you really helped me change my life. Yeah, we like driving. You can like driving in a nice car. You can like living in a nice place. But if you really care about what you're doing, those texts and emails mean more to you than the profit margin you'll see, because you can't take it with you.
No, you can only be kind and rewind, and you can't trust the man in the white coat.
Be careful what the man in the white
coat or the woman in the white coat has to say.
You remember that doctor that dentist on Little Shop of Horror? He was one for me, one for you. You got to be careful. You never know. Everybody's mind's in a different place now. If you come, I always tell my clients here in LA is if you go into a doctor's office and they've had more plastic surgery than Michael Jackson or even the Kardashians, then you probably need to go somewhere else, because you've seen their minds already rotating out in a different atmosphere. So think about those things when you're going into a doctor's office.
10-Minute Daily Reality, check out. See you tomorrow. Spread the love. DavidWygant.com. Spread the love, spread the podcast. And also, the next time your doctor tells you something about the side effects, why don't you treat the problem, treat the core, instead of basically putting a Band-Aid on a problem that will never go away.
Then you're taking another pill for those side effects.
You got it, because it's just once you start having the diarrhea and the demon eyes, guess what? The demon eyes will then take away, and the demon eye pill will basically say to you, the jaundice eyes will then say, well, one of the side effects is shaky leg syndrome. It's all going to neutralize itself out. See you tomorrow.